Okay, so we have made our dough and we have baked our pineapple cookies. And this is what they look like once they've been baked. I baked these at 325 for about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how fast and how hot your oven bakes. So these little beauties are what comes out of the oven. They're golden on the bottom and just a little bit golden on the top, and they look absolutely gorgeous. So let these cool on a cooling rack here, and I'm ready to make my glaze or my frosting. Now, everybody's a little bit different as to what consistency they like their frosting or their glaze to be. Some people like it a little thinner, some people like it a little thicker. I personally like it on the thicker side. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this frosting, and then you can always thin it out as much as you want. So in order to frost my cookies, I am going to put them on a tray with some plastic wrap on it, so that way whenever the frosting runs off the sides, it's not going to make a huge mess all over the place. So I'm just going to frost a few of these. Alright, so to make our frosting, we have about 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, in this bowl. And then I have my reserved pineapple juice that I saved from my 8 ounce can of crushed pineapple. And I've got a whisk to stir it up with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out by the tablespoonful the pineapple juice and just whisk it into my powdered sugar until I get it to the consistency that I want. If I just dump all this in here, it's going to not be the right consistency, and then I would have to add more powdered sugar to thicken it up and so on and so forth. You can always add more. You can't take any out, but you can always add more. So I'm just going to start slow and then add as I go. So I'm just going to take a tablespoon of liquid, maybe a tablespoon and a half here, of this juice. And just whisk that in my bowl. See here, it's already starting to thicken up a little bit. Okay. So that's with about 1.5 tablespoons. So I'm going to add in just a teeny bit more. Maybe another tablespoon. Like I said, you can always add more, but you can't take it away. And I like my frosting a little on the thicker side. Alright, this is looking really good here. So this is what my frosting looks like now. So got a little bit of powdered sugar to mix in there. But this is a good consistency. So you can see here it's a little thicker than what is normal, but it's still a good spreadable consistency. Alright. So then, I'm just going to the excess off of my whisk here. Then I'm going to take my handy dandy spoon. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little spoonful and just spread that right on top of my cookie. Okay, and just kind of spread that around. If it runs down the edges, that's fine, because you want to get that frosting all over there. And make it look yummy. Oh yeah, that looks good. So you're just taking like about a spoonful. You can always add more. Oh yeah. Once your cookies have cooled, then you can go ahead and frost to your heart's delight. So just spread my frosting on there. Probably even made my frosting even that much more thick to stay, but you want to make sure that they're good and covered in the frosting. So when it starts to run down the sides, you can just scrape that up. That's why you have the plastic wrap down there, so you can just scrape that up, pour that back on there. Doesn't that look good? Alright. There are frosted pineapple cookies. And again, you bake these off at 325 for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then once they've cooled, you'll want to make your frosting and frost them up. And then you are ready to eat. So bon appetit!